George reunites with the Coopers in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage BTS, but Sheldon is still missing. The young Sheldon set was buzzing with energy as the cast and crew gathered for one of the most anticipated moments of the season, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Fans had waited for this milestone, eager to see the Cooper family reunited. But while emotions ran high as George Sr. made a long-awaited return, there was one glaring absence: Sheldon. Despite the warm hugs and heartfelt reunions, everyone couldn't ignore the fact that the family genius was nowhere to be seen. The cameras rolled, the lights were bright, and the wedding bells were ringing, but something was missing, or rather, someone. A nostalgic return, George Sr. comes home. For years, George Cooper Sr. had been absent from the series. His fate had been a tragic one in the young Sheldon timeline, leaving fans heartbroken over his untimely departure. But thanks to the magic of television, the set was once again graced by Lance Barber, the actor behind George. Dressed in a classic suit that hinted at his signature football coach charm, George Sr. stepped onto the set, and everything felt right again. Cast members immediately embraced him, their off-screen relationships mirroring the tight-knit Cooper family fans had grown to love. "I never thought I'd be back like this," Barber admitted, his voice tinged with emotion. "But it feels like coming home." Zoe Perry, who plays Mary Cooper, smiled warmly. "It's surreal, seeing George again at a Cooper family event. It feels like a moment we all needed." But while his presence was a treat, one absence still loomed over the moment: Sheldon. Georgie and Mandy's big day and a few hiccups. The focus of the episode was, of course, Georgie, Montana Jordan, and Mandy, Emily Osment, whose romance had been a roller coaster from the start. From their surprise pregnancy to navigating adulthood faster than expected, their wedding symbolized a full-circle moment. The behind-the-scenes atmosphere was full of laughter. Jordan, always the prankster, had everyone in stitches when he pretended to forget his vows. "You're supposed to say 'I do.' Now wait, what's my line again?" teased Osment, shaking her head. "We're making TV history here," Jordan responded with a grin. "I just want to make sure I get it right." Annie Potts, Ake, the sassy Meemaw, sat off to the side, watching the younger actors with fondness. "They remind me of us back in the day," she said to Barber, who nodded. "You mean when we had energy?" he joked, earning a laugh. As the wedding scene unfolded, a bittersweet emotion hung in the air. This was a Cooper family moment that George Sr. should have been alive for. In a perfect world, he would have walked Georgie down the aisle, making a dad joke along the way. But even in fiction, some things couldn't be rewritten. Where is Sheldon? With the entire Cooper clan gathered, the absence of Ian Armitage, who plays young Sheldon, was especially noticeable. Fans speculated whether he would make a surprise appearance, but as the cameras kept rolling, it became clear this was a Cooper family event without its most famous member. Behind the scenes, Armitage's absence was felt. "We all miss Ian," said Jordan between takes. "But I think it makes sense, story-wise. Sheldon never really connected with these family moments the way we did." Osman chimed in, "It's true Sheldon always saw himself as an outsider in his own family. Even if he were here, he'd probably be off in a corner analyzing the probability of marriage success rates." Still, fans couldn't help but feel nostalgic. A wedding without Sheldon? It felt incomplete, even if it was realistic. Recreating the Cooper family dynamic. Even without Sheldon, the magic of the Cooper family was alive and well. The cast found themselves slipping effortlessly into their old dynamics. Harry and Barber fell back into their roles as Mary and George, their playful banter showing flashes of the old days. Potts, as always, stole the show with Meemaw's witty remarks. And Jordan? He was every bit the lovable yet mischievous Georgie fans had followed since day one. The behind-the-scenes moments captured a reunion that wasn't just about the Coopers, but about the actors themselves. People who had grown together, laughed together, and created something special. A fitting ending and a glimmer of hope. As the final wedding scene wrapped up, the cast gathered for a behind-the-scenes toast. "To family," Barber said, raising his glass. "To second chances," added Perry, smiling at him. "To never forgetting where we came from," Jordan chimed in, his eyes glinting with emotion. But just before the cameras shut off, a thought lingered in the air. What if Sheldon did show up? In the distance, a small figure appeared. It wasn't clear at first, but as the figure stepped closer, a hush fell over the set. And then, cut. Fans would have to wait for the episode's official release to see if Sheldon made a last-minute appearance. But for now, one thing was certain: George was back, the Coopers were together, and Georgie and Mandy's wedding was a moment to remember. Even without Sheldon, the Cooper family still felt like home. Final thoughts. The behind-the-scenes of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage was more than just a reunion. It was a celebration of everything that made young Sheldon special. While Sheldon's absence was felt, it also highlighted the importance of the rest of the Cooper family, giving them a moment to shine. And with George Sr. making a return, if only briefly, it felt like a perfect, nostalgic tribute to the family fans had grown to love. Would Sheldon make a surprise appearance? Would the episode include a hidden Easter egg for longtime fans? One thing was for sure: this was a wedding Cooper fans wouldn't forget anytime soon.